for the folks of LA County. They are seeing firsthand the crime, the disruption of their lives. They are seeing people defecating, urinating in the streets, popping up tents, taking over sidewalks with shopping carts full of crap. You're seeing mentally ill people roaming the streets. Frankly, some of the scenes look like out of scenes from The Walking Dead. It's horrific what people are having to put up with just to like go to a store, go to the market, go to the park with your kids, to have these folks that, a lot of it's not of their doing, right? Somebody's mentally ill, they're mentally ill. There has to be a more concerted effort by the powers that be in the county, like Department of Mental Health and others. The Sheriff's Department should not be the fallback agency for people who are mentally ill, because when they go into jail, they end up decompensating even more than they were. The people are seeing the destruction of their neighborhoods, and they see the apparent inability of law enforcement and the DA's office to hold these people accountable on a large scale. I even see it looks like the people of LA County are starting to give up. They're taking off their jewelry. They can't go out for a night on the town. They don't want to take their good car. They have to make sure they're not being followed home. They've got to make sure they're not getting robbed of everything when they go to a parking garage. It is, I would say, at least anecdotally, out of control. The reality is probably not as bad in some neighborhoods, but overall, LA County, I think, is suffering behind all of this, and I think it's behind the lack of personnel on the street and the lack of the deputies shying away from doing observation contacts with people because they're afraid they're going to get into something, they're going to get in trouble, they're going to be sent home, and they're going to be dragged through the mud for a year and a half while some bogus investigation plays out on them. I mean, it's wearing on everybody, and like I said, it's going to take pretty substantive changes to make things better than they are now. I think it's my opinion that the LA County Sheriff's Department has gone beyond the tipping point. And if something dramatic doesn't happen in the next couple of years, I think it would be time to look for new leadership on the department. I am not hopeful that they're going to be able to turn it around in time to save a whole bunch of those good deputies that are just going to give up and go somewhere else. They're going to retire early. They're going to go off IOD, injured on duty, and not come back. They're going to transfer to other agencies, or they're just going to quit law enforcement altogether. I know there's a number that do that, as a matter of fact, because they get there and they say, this is not what I signed up for. And if I were to give any opinion to the people of LA County, I would say that they need to continue to stand by law enforcement. They need to get past the naysayers who are trying to tear the department down. They need to show that they support their law enforcement, and I know a lot of communities do. I'm preaching to the choir with that, because I think the average person on the street really recognizes that without law enforcement, what do you end up with? You're going to have anarchy, and it's in their best interest to continue to support the cops on the street. A message I would have for the cops on the street is they need to hold fast. They need to just keep doing their job. They need to be proactive. They need to follow their training. And if I had a message for the supervisors on the department, I would tell them to get off their butts and take care of their people and do their job and show the support not only for the agency but for their people. We are in a really rough time as far as trying to help the deputies out, just because of the suffocating circumstances they're living under with the overtime and the drafting and the carping that I talked about. It's just, man, it's untenable and it's unsustainable. It's going to take a real concerted effort at the top of someone who's not afraid to make some decisions, even if they are not necessarily welcomed with open arms, but something has to be done. You have to take the pressure off the cops on the street. And by doing that, you're going to lower the temperature and be able to move forward and make some other more substantive changes.